Good morning. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and just great to see everybody out here this morning. Staff, we appreciate you being here this morning, and we're going to go down the items here. So item 2 will be the approval of the agenda, 2.1 changes to agenda and approval of agenda, and now we're at recognitions. And something a little different today. Typically we do all recognitions at our Monday night board meeting, but today we're going to do 2 that will only be for the workshop, in 3.1 and 3.2. So recognition of Olivia Keith, Crestview High School student, for her heroic actions in saving a human life. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant, School Board. This is an honor to have 2 of our students who are here with us today, Olivia and Bethany. One of the things that we talk about in our school district is that we want to be a district that has strong career and technical education courses. And what you want to have is students who are learning skills that are going to be life skills that can be transferable right now and into the future. And that's something that I think that we take really seriously. Both of these young ladies are in the emergency medical responder program at Crestview High School. And this is one of the many programs at Crestview where they do a great job. This program is starting to have a history of saving lives. And we talk about that and kind of maybe gloss over it a little bit, but truly saving lives. And we have 2 young ladies who are here with us, Olivia and Bethany. And what I'm going to ask in a moment is to briefly share a little bit of your story. But Olivia, just to give a little highlight, saved a student's life in the bathroom at Crestview High School. And Bethany saved a customer's life at Winn-Dixie in Crestview. And I think when you think about programs that you have, transferring skills to save a life, there couldn't be anything more impressive. And we just thank you, because it's one thing to get trained in this stuff, it's another thing to be able to have the courage to act and save a life. So could not be more proud. So before I have Olivia come up, is there anything that board members might want to say?
We'll start with Ms. Gardner there if you have.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see that, again, the CTE training and to see it in action. And do I remember that this is the 3rd time you have? I'm sorry, say again. 3rd time recognized? No.
There were previous incidents.
There were
This
some
is the
previous.
4th one. This will be the 3rd and 4th one.
Okay, there were some previous situations where you just stepped right in, and not everybody can just step right in and do something like that. So thank you. I just can't wait to see what your future is going to be. You're amazing. You're both amazing. So thank you.
Well, I just want to say it's one thing to have the skills, but we kind of live in a society where we let somebody else take charge, and you jumped in there. And especially for being at your age, no one would have judged if you hadn't taken that action, but what a mature and role model thing to do. And so not only having the skill, but to jump in there, I certainly admire you and applaud you for doing that. Thank you.
I just think about what a resume builder, not just for the future of college and career, but for life. I mean, you already have the skills, the credibility, and the wherewithal to step up and do what needs to be done. And there's a saying, doing the right thing in the right place at the right time. And I think you 2 just epitomize that. And I couldn't be prouder of you, but most importantly, because you reflect on all of us and the programs that are instituted here in Okaloosa County Schools. So thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing where you go and what else you do to make us proud.
Dr. White?
Yes, and of course, thank you for having the courage to act, like the superintendent said. And of course, at this time of the year, we're all about teacher appreciation. And we certainly appreciate those teachers that gave y'all the skills to be able to do what you did and to save those folks. And I'm sure somewhere they're appreciative too. So thank you for that very, very much.
And I'll just echo what my fellow board members and the superintendent said. I'm extremely proud of both of you, but overall, just what Crestview High School, what the Dr. McKenzie and everybody, sir, Miss Willoughby, yes, thank you, have done to create that program to make it to where it is today. And, we're very blessed to have both of them leading these students. But, I'm very proud of both of you, so congratulations there for doing the right thing, but also being recognized here today, too. So.
All right, we're going to do a little bit of a switch. I just want to say one quick thing, and then Miss Willoughby. Is Miss Willoughby here? Okay. So I do want to say, in terms of Bethany, there were a lot of adults at the store that day, I'm assuming, right? And you didn't wait for that. You went right to it, and that's fantastic. And then Olivia, I know one of the SROs stepped in to start doing the CPR, and Olivia said, "Hold on. Do you have your credentials? Are you sure?" And that's part of their training. So both of these young ladies, absolutely fantastic. So Olivia, if you come forward.
Do you want me to just tell you what happened?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was on my way home for personal reasons, and as I was walking past the bathroom, I saw a student and a teacher rushing into the bathroom. So me being, the helpful person that I am, I go into the bathroom to see if I could help. And when I walked in, I saw an unresponsive young student in the bathroom crouched over with the stall locked. So I actually had to crawl underneath the stall to unlock it. And I checked her pulse while she was in there, and I checked her breathing, and there was none. So I asked the student and the teacher to help me get her out the bathroom so that way I could perform CPR. I told the student to get help, find an AED. And that point in time, I started doing CPR and respirations for about 4 to 5 minutes before any help came. And after those, I think I did like 5 to 6 cycles. You can actually tell her she started breathing and she started to pink up, and by that time the SROs and stuff had came, and I was tired, so the SRO came and asked if she could take over, and I did ask, "Are you CPR certified?" Because that was one of the things that Dr. McKenzie instilled in us, is to make sure that the person you're handing off care to is either equal or higher than you. So she took over, and she came back alive.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
awesome.
fantastic, Olivia.
Thank
and,
you.
Again, we are extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
And I know your parents back there are beaming with pride as well.
Okay, I'm going to give her a hand.
Bethany?
Okay, so can we move this? Or can y'all hear me?
You can touch it.
You do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I was at work, and it was probably between 5:30 and 6, and I was standing at the end of my register, just waiting for somebody to come through my line. And she came around the corner. She had her grandson with her, and I noticed she looked a little confused. So I asked her, "Is there anything I can help you with?" And she was like, "My sugar is dropping, and I need something to eat." So me being a diabetic, I just went for it, and I went and got her a Sunkist, because I know that's got the most sugar in it. And she went to come through my line, and she wanted to pay for it, and I was like, just drink it, we'll take care of it afterwards, don't worry about it. And then it just got the best of her, and she looked up in the sky, or the ceiling, and her eyes started twitching, and then she had a seizure, she fell and had a seizure. So I just ran around, pulled the card out, and I yelled for help, and I took my jacket off, put it under her head, and I called 911. There was another lady that was there helping me get her on her side while I was talking to the paramedics, and we kept on her side, and then I checked her radial pulse and just kept talking to her, keep breathing, they're almost here, just stay with me. And then when they got there, they took her grandson to the fire department, and then she went to the hospital. And then she contacted me a couple of days later, just thanking me, you saved my life, and I really appreciate it. So that's all.
Again,
Awesome.
Bethany,
Awesome.
just like with Olivia, extremely proud of you, and proud of Crestview High School as well. So great job, ladies.
Thank you.
Mr. Sanders.
A lot of times we don't see the impact that what we do every day, it happens. This is one of those special times for me that we get to see what a huge impact on people's lives it had, like the superintendent said. And I want to thank the board, the superintendent for tremendous support for our CTE program. And I know Dr. McKenzie, Ms. Willoughby, Dr. Jones, and the lady that retired before her, Ms. Myers, all played a part in allowing these kids to learn those skills that they'd learned in that EMR classes, and we just see what the impact it has. And so thank you guys for always supporting that. And I hope that Dr. McKenzie and Ms. Willoughby are able to see this and know that how much I appreciate it, because they're making an impact on kids in our community. So thank you guys, and proud of you girls. I really am. So thank you.
Mr. Chambers, wouldn't it be nice if our news media programs would feature such positive, rewarding situations such as this?
And
this
I would
is
like to
really
recommend a
what-
title for it, Ms. Gardner. Instead of crisis in the classroom, kudos in the classroom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or
I was
credence in the classroom.
thinking the same, not calling out,
Exactly.
but I mean, these are the type of things that we see in our schools often.
Exactly.
And I just hope there's some additional recognition coming from it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, congratulations again, and y'all are free to leave. You don't have to stay unless you want to.
Okay. Do they get the rest of the day off?
I don't know. Do they get the rest of the day off?
Even heroes have to go to.
We'll be
Saves-
we'll be
saves some more
seeing them
divisions.
shortly at the graduation ceremony. Yep. And item 3.2 was recognition of Bethany Touchton, Crestview High School student, for her heroic actions in saving a human life. And now we'll move down to item 3.3, proclamation of Take Stock in Children Month, and that's Ms. Savanchek.
Yep, so we're going to be doing that on Monday night, and I'll have some members of our Public Schools Foundation here, and the county commissioners did the same thing a few weeks ago. And also today, we have an event for our Take Stock in Children seniors. So our goal, I think I mentioned last time, is to get 100 students. We're just shy of about 60 at this point, and we're trying to get a goal of 100. So this proclamation, I think, will give a lot of recognition to a program that has continued to grow, especially since most of us have come on the board. So it's exciting to see. So that's what that'll be about Monday night.
All right, thank you. Now, item 3.4, recognition of Caleb Carter, Niceville High School 2022 Florida High School Association Division 3A Boys State Champion in the 199-pound weightlifting class. And then 3.5, recognition of Okaloosa County School District Academic Team 2022 State Champions Division 2 Commissioners Academic Challenge. Item 4 is visitors. We have none on the agenda. Item 5 is administrative personnel appointments, and school board members, you should have received these last night, the names of these appointments. So 5.1 will be the appointment of Assistant Principal 1, 12-month, Northwest Florida Ballet Academy, and 5.2 will be the appointment of Assistant Principal 1, 10-month, Baker School. Item 6 is public comment. 6.1, members of the public desiring to address the school board, Form MIS 5241, public input and/or discussion of agenda items, and this is the 4-minute version of public comment. Item 7, or Section 7, is committee and staff reports. Item 7.1 is in-county travel paid for the period of March 24th through April 20th, 2022. 7.2 is quarterly report, short-term facility use contracts and lease agreements under the $5,000 threshold. And 7.3, quarterly report, service agreements under the $5,000 threshold for internal and budgetary funds. Section 8 is the consent agenda. 8.1 will be the approval of the consent agenda. 8.2 is approval of the minutes of the student disciplinary hearings of April 21st, 2022. Minutes of workshop meeting of April 21st, 2022. Minutes of regular meeting of April 25th, 2022. 8.3, appropriation of District 1 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Longwood Elementary School for classroom flooring in the amount of $18,353.52, presented by Dr. Lamar White. 8.4, appropriation of District 1 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Meigs Middle School for 4 iPad carts in the amount of $3,250, presented by Dr. Lamar White. 8.5, appropriation of District 1 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Pryor Middle School for classroom tables and chairs in the amount of $8,060.76, presented by Dr. Lamar White. 8.6, appropriation of District 2 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Pryor Middle School for classroom tables and chairs in the amount of $8,060.76, presented by Ms. Marty Gardner. And then 8.7, appropriation of District 5 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Niceville High School for sod replacement on the sidelines of the football field in the amount of $5,525, as presented by Dr. Diane Kelly. 8.8, request to advertise a public hearing for mathematics textbooks, instructional materials adoption pending DOE action on publisher appeals. 8.9, invoice.
Can I go back to that real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
If any public would like to go and preview those, I did notice, was looking through it last night, that you can go online, the Okaloosa County School District webpage. I think it's on the left-hand side right there. And all of these textbooks are online. The username, the password is there. So if an individual does want to preview these books without coming in, they have the opportunity to do this online. And I think that's a wonderful service we're providing our public to preview these.
Yes.
Okay.
That was where we would want them to.
Okay, you're looking at me kind of confused.
No, that is actually where they would do their preview.
Okay, they're not coming in anymore. They do their
Correct.
preview online.
Correct.
And I saw the username, the password, everything is provided for the individuals to come in
Right.
and to preview the books. Thank you.
Okay,
I learned
so-
to read the expressions right there.
So let me make sure I understand what this is I know we had looked at some books and everything, and then some that were on the list, the state said you can't do. So now we're going back, so the publisher has appealed, because some of those I understand were very little pieces that could be changed or whatever. So now we're waiting for the appeal? Is that what we're
No,
doing?
these books have now been approved by the
Okay,
state.
okay.
So now now we can put them on the list so that we can move forward with what we need to do and get them ordered.
Okay, so
So
does
they
that?
put in their appeal,
Yeah.
they made the changes that the state requested them to make, the state has approved them, and now we're ready to complete our process.
So that's good for us, so that, because we were concerned about getting them in time to start school. Is this looking better?
It's much better. Much
Good.
better this way. We're still waiting on a couple books. They're upper level high school books that they still have not approved. So there's a couple that will probably
Yeah.
be a little bit late. But the big one that we were very concerned about was the K-5 elementary, and
I saw
that
that
did
was
get
approved.
approved. So we are moving on that one.
Oh,
That
good.
was a big deal.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Lightbourne. 8.9, invoices to be approved for payment. 8.10, school donations. 8.11, authorization to appropriate federal impact aid funds and make a payment in the amount of $54,231 to charter schools. 8.12, renewal of check recovery agreement between the School Board of Okaloosa County and Safe Check Incorporated for non-sufficient funds check recovery services. 8.13, renewal of RFP 17-01, external independent auditing services contract and the letter of engagement for the Okaloosa County School Board financial statement and supplemental information audit for the year ended June 30th, 2022. 8.14, renewal of RFP 17-02, internal accounts auditing service contract and the letter of engagement to audit school internal funds for the year ended June 30th, 2022. 8.15, tag on bid ITB 22-0036, basketball, tennis, play courts resurfacing with line striping and repairs. 8.16, tag on bid over $25,000 strategic equipment LLC. 8.17, tag on bid purchase over $25,000 Emerald Coast office products. 8.18, tag on bid purchase over $25,000 Howard Technology Solutions. 8.19, tag on bid over $25,000, Apple Store for Education Institution. 8.20, exempted purchase over $25,000, AbleNet Incorporated. 8.21, surplus and salvage of one GMC, one 1988 GMC 2500 pickup truck, and the bid number is there. And 8.22, sale and disposal of surplus property.
Wait, back on that truck, what was that used for? What was the truck? What do we have? Do we know? I'll see this, Ms. Jay McGinnis.
Yes, ma'am. In the event one of our older buses back in the day were to break down, we'd have to have a maintenance truck go out and work on it, so that was primary use for it.
Okay, so once again, our bus stuff's moving forward, even the maintenance truck.
This is a supporting vehicle for the
Yeah.
bus fleet, yes,
Right.
ma'am.
That's great, okay, thank you.
Did you notice the year? It was 2 years after I graduated high school.
Whatever.
No, I'm saying the vehicle was 1988.
I know you'd have to point that out, but,
What, that it was 2 years after I graduated high school?
yes.
Mr. Chambers hadn't even graduated high school yet, had you?
I was in middle school.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it could have been worse.
Listen, y'all know that,
Anything.
y'all know about paybacks. Y'all know about paybacks, and that's it, so,
Miss Maxie's over there.
And-
Were you born yet?
oh, my.
And Mr. Bryant, with that, why don't you move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, moving
Thank you,
on.
Ms. Carter. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess I had to ask.
Section 9 is Superintendent's Human Resource Recommendations, and items. The first two items will be information only. Monday night, 9.1, employees on administrative leave, and 9.2, deferred retirement option program. 9.3 is the request to double fill the principal Ruckle Middle School, and 9.4, employment separations. 9.5, personnel recommendations. 9.6, employee transfers. 9.7, employee suspension. 9.8, employee suspension. 9.9, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty, illness, injury, medical examination. And 9.10, leave without pay. Section 10 is discussion agenda. At this time, we have no items that have been moved from the consent agenda. Section 11 is construction programs owners, representatives business. And Dr. Kelly, I'll turn it over to you, ma'am.
We will meet Monday morning bright and early, and I'll have a full report for you that evening at our board meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. And 11.2 TPM, program number 6, task order number 19, pre-GMP for Richburg School Building 12 renovation. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to see this on the agenda. This is very much needed and overdue for the school. For those of you that might remember when Richburg was Richburg Junior High Middle School, that was actually the office area at one time.
That was before I was born.
Well, I will admit that I actually worked in that building
Yes.
when it was Richburg
Yes.
Junior High.
Yes, but as of right now, we cannot use that particular area because it is in that bad a shape. But I'm so excited that we're going to be able to go in there and do it right and make it a functional part of that school. So, thank you very much, Mr. Chambers.
And that is a product of the half-cent sales tax.
Yeah.
Thank you to our citizens who helped make that happen. So, thank you. 11.3 TPM program number 6, task order number 20, pre-GMP 2022 through 2023 priority roofing projects. And those items we will be voting on Monday night. Section 12 is information technology seat management contract. We have no items on the agenda. And 13 is attorney's business. Mr. McInnes?
No report this morning.
Thank you, sir. Item 14 is superintendent's business. 14.1, out-of-state student trip request. And 14.2, Mr. Chambers, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant, School Board. As we all know, the month of May is extremely busy, and we're all going to different award ceremonies, looking forward to graduation at the end of May. But I also want to say that there's a number of things that we're going to be doing highlighting seniors. We already started some of that with social media. We are about to be doing an interview with a senior from each of the high schools to include our K-12 schools as well. And it's going to be in 2 different segments, and we'll be talking to them about their plans for the future, about how their experience in the Okaloosa County School District prepared them for where they're going, and a number of other questions. So we're excited that we'll be doing that. And we'll be doing a number of other things, so to speak, with our seniors throughout this month, really highlighting their journey. So we're excited about that. Mr. Mers is helping us lead that and doing a great job with that vision, so really appreciate that. May has many other things that are occurring. As we know, testing is currently underway again. It's a second wave of testing, and that time period, in essence, goes from May 2nd all the way to May 25th in terms of makeups and some of our more advanced placement type tests as well. So a busy month in terms of testing. Also, we know that month is the Mental Health Awareness Month, which we shared last board meeting. Just as a reminder, this is Humankind, Be Kind. And at the elementary level, the focus this month is about promoting kindness. And at the secondary level, it's about promoting kindness, but also removing the stigma associated with mental illness and trying to get good, accurate information out there so our kids can be advocates as well. Was very excited about one of our programs. We talked about CTE, and as we know, Okaloosa Technical College does a great job preparing kids, whether it's welding, whether it's electrical, and a number of other programs. And what our school district has done is we are now partnering with OTC, such as in the maintenance area. So whether that be HVAC, whether that be electrical. So now we're taking students from those programs, partnering them with our people, our maintenance and facility folks, so these students are getting on-the-job training and practical training. So we talk about all the time, we want to create a pipeline from our schools to the workforce. So maintenance and facilities has done a great job, and I appreciate that Mr. Horton, Dr. Smith, and so forth, Mr. Meyer, really having that program now for our students. And we actually have a success story that one of our Choctaw students who's helping in this program, it looks like we'll be hiring this individual. And that's also part of, we have some hard to fill positions. So now being able to get students from OTC, hire them into our hard to fill positions, I think that's a fantastic thing for the students and for our school district.
How about transportation? Maybe some bus drivers. If we can. Some of those
Mr. Meyer, we
needed-
need to get on that.
There you go, Mr. Some of those high needed areas.
Also, another highlight that occurred last week was TechMen. And if you're not familiar with TechMen, TechMen actually stands for Technology Coast Manufacturing and Engineering Network, and it's been in existence since 1989. And each month, TechMen meets as a group, and it's different industries coming together with STEM being a focus, and how do we bring other jobs to the area. They collaborate and how they can help each other just within their businesses. But then also Mr. Horton has a seat at the table. We have Ms. Branscombe, and also John Williams has a seat at the table as well. And we talk about not only the business side, but also how our students can benefit and how those different companies can help our schools and help our students. So that last week they had what was called TechMen Industry Day, and we had about 26 of our students take part in this. And it was over at the Convention Center. And it was a big deal. There were many different exhibits where our students had the ability to go to the different booths, talk to the businesses, and in essence kind of get interviewed as well for whether it be summer interns, whether it be jobs going forward. Some of these students are going to be going straight into the workforce, while others will go to college or the military. But it was a great event. Dr. Hsu was there. He was one of the keynote speakers who does a fantastic job. Nathan Sparks with One Okaloosa EDC was there as well. And then Dr. Stevenson gave a little bit of a vision for what they're doing as well as it pertains to advanced manufacturing and different other programs. So it was a great event for the community, and I think very special for our 26 students in our high schools who are there. And I'm going to ask Mr. Horton to come up in a second to give a little bit of information on focus, kind of where we are as we go into this transition. But the last thing I want to say, very proud of, and we've talked a little bit about this, we're looking at a nursing program, a a public-private partnership with what is now called HCA Fort Walton Beach Destin Hospital, formerly the Fort Walton Beach Medical Center. So we're looking to create a partnership with them for our students, where there will be a facility over in the Fort Walton Beach area, in essence on the campus of the hospital, where our students will learn the nursing program, but also be able to go over to the hospital and really work in a real-world situation at the hospital. We're actually going to be putting a Triumph grant together. We'll be bringing that to you at the next board meeting, and making it basically about a $5 million Triumph grant application. So Ms. Branscombe is really leading this, Mr. Horton as well in this venture, and we think that this is something that will be a flagship program in Okaloosa to go along with our AI program in continuing to take our CTE programs to the next level. So very excited about that opportunity. And Mr. Horton?
You're good.
I was going to move on to a different topic, so I didn't know if there was follow-up on that.
No.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And then just to follow up on Mr. Chambers with the Techman Industry Day, so great mentorship provided also for those 26 kids that came from every one of our 6 high schools. Also the principals and some of the teachers in the programs came to the event. And the Shoe Education Foundation, Amanda Negron, really did a good job, and because they funded the registration costs for those students, and they do that. They've done that each year as the program grows. We greatly appreciate that. And they did a Zoom with those students the week before, and we talked as a group about, how you walk up and meet somebody, how you shake their hand, how you follow up with an email or a personal note. And so, you never know if it's the 4th or 5th or 6th contact you come into touch with that day that's really going to be inspired by what you do as a student, and then reach back out and create opportunities. So it's a great day overall. We greatly thank the Shoe Education Foundation for helping us. I was going to give a quick update on Focus. We've been working this for a year now in philosophy, and so there's a lot of people hard at work right now on the department levels. Understand and respect right now. Teachers at this moment don't want to be bothered by anything other than a kind of an overarching sense of we will be fine and we will get through this together. So far, as you know, we've had our registrars trained. We are now fully in Focus for registration for new families for the fall. Move through the hiccups that exist, and every once in a while you put an address in and it doesn't register, and we've got a quick fix for that through our MIS department, and Karen Shue does a great job with our mapping up there. So that's occurring. The second training that we did was with our secondary master schedulers, because they're starting to build those schedules for next year. Wendy Reserve did a great job with that, and those folks are building their master schedules in Focus as we speak. The data and all of the course requests transitioned from one system to the other, and now I'm hearing that it's fairly user-friendly to be able to do that. So that'll be a great benefit for those folks doing the master schedule. Joe Peterson also is doing a great job in supporting that process, because we have to keep very close track on the allocations. And let's say, not that it would happen, but a school builds sections and sections and sections. The next thing you know, they've outstripped their allocation amount. So we've got to monitor that and make sure everyone's staying within their budget. So great work on that part with it. We then did training for elementary schedulers. Ms. Gardner will know this and speak this as a former elementary principal. So Wendy Meserve has done a lot of our scheduling in the past at the elementary level. It's just a different thing because it's not course requests for kids. It's blocks of time and departmentalization and other things. And so we brought in an administrator from every elementary school and went through the scheduling piece that works through Focus. The great thing about the model that we have is we'll have continuous days of not only open lab time for anybody who wants to come in and get some kind of one-on-one tutoring in the process, but also larger group pieces. We've used technology in terms of our Microsoft Teams. For all of these groups of people, we have Microsoft Teams established where they can go in and they can interact with the other people who are doing the same things in the other schools, pose questions, get answers, and then our staff, Dushka, Ross, and Wendy, and our programmers monitor that. And so whenever we see anything that bubbles up that looks like it might be happening at 2 or 3 schools, we can get in there and address it. Focus so far has been good in terms of being a partner with us to help us move along. So much more to do. I keep looking at the clock. It's now May. We have the finance and the human resources piece as well to move. It all won't go live on July 1, but the student piece will be going officially, and we're live as far as I'm concerned right now, but they'll be going officially live July 1, and then the rest will follow. It also is important to know that, as we've said earlier, that when the parents are registering new students for next fall, they go in and create their own parent account. And that's a very simple process to do that requires an email and their own password. Once they do that, then they're able to go in and connect all of their students to them through a verified process that we will take care of through the schools. That way I can log into my account as a parent and I can see all of my students. And I can interact with all of my students' teachers right from my own parent dashboard. So that's really going to be cool. Cool, not very technical word, but it's going to be cool. The other thing for our teachers to know and for you to know is we are kind of re-energizing the Gradebook Manager program. We're working with HR right now and the union, and what I want to do this first year with our Gradebook Managers is set a number and distribute those among the schools for those who are willing to serve in that capacity based on student enrollment, so we have an equitable distribution. But every school has the ability to have multiple Gradebook Managers, and what we want to do with those folks is bring them in and provide them with some intensive training. And we would pay them an hourly rate to come in and do some training in the summer. We'll give multiple dates available so that we can get folks in and work around their schedules, and then use those people as we move to the beginning of the school year in a train-the-trainer model. And so I think there are probably, the 10 things that a teacher really needs to know to get going in Gradebook. Brandon McSween is creating videos now as he gains access to Gradebook, so we'll have lots of resources for folks to move into this new generation and new piece. So other than that, I wish I could tell you. I don't know how many kindergartners we have registered at the moment, but I could find that out. But it's going well, and anytime, we encourage anytime anybody feels there's a hiccup or something going on, lack of communication, we want to know about it because we want to get there and make sure people feel comfortable with what they're doing.
Thank
A
you, Mr.
lot
Horton.
going on.
Thank you.
Yes.
And lastly, just want to share with the board, we've shared before that we meet regularly with our military. Mr. Horton has met with Hurlburt here recently with Colonel Schermerhorn, who will be leaving us. And we just met with General Kane and his staff this past week as well. General Kane will also be leaving us as well.
Oh,
But some of the topics that we do talk about is, those who are PCSing or moving in, so we can make sure that that's as smooth as possible. We let them know with focus if there's a family who they don't necessarily have an address yet. That's something that we have to work through with focus. So we assure them that there'll be another process in place for that. But we had great conversations with them, and this is just part of making sure that we're in the loop with them and vice versa. So again, just a great meeting, our quarterly meetings with our military.
And so I would like to ask you, as I think all of us on the board and there is a document out there that does not paint as upbeat a picture as you just did of our relationship with the military. And I was just wondering, had you spoken to either of those base commanders about that document versus what they're telling us in real time, person to person, that they're pleased with our relationship? Have you had an opportunity to ask them to give any credence to that document or to dismiss it?
No, absolutely. Spoke about that document this past week as well. They understand that what's in that document for Okaloosa and Walton, because they have Okaloosa and Walton together as one document. So that's just one of the areas that we shared. For us, you probably would want to see Okaloosa by itself, Walton by itself, so that's one. We shared with them and reminded them that, for example, as it pertains to nurses, as it pertains to mental health counselors, social workers, where it shows us as 0, where we show them the exact number that we do have. We talked about our graduation rate, we talked about our student learning, so they understand the concerns, and they're actually doing their part to reach out to the higher-ups about this report. And they understand our concerns very clearly, and they were very supportive. And they're very supportive of our school district, and I appreciate General Kane for that. He has kids in our school system, and very pleased. So again, it's just about being partners, but they are looking into that for us and trying to get that corrected.
All right, thank you.
And I'll follow up, if I can follow up on that document. If I'm not mistaken, that document is not real time. That's actually a couple of years back. Am I correct?
The most recent one is from the most recent one that we have is actually from the 2019
Right.
school year.
And the information you provided them was up to the moment information.
We provided them information from the 2019 school year and up to the moment of real-time data as well.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Vanchek.
That is it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chambers. So now we'll move down to board members' announcements and requests for information. And today I will start with the Honorable Dr. Diane Kelly.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I'll try not to step on anybody else's announcements because I know we all have our areas of focus and our areas of major interest. But we all are looking forward to, as the superintendent said, our graduation season. And I'll just announce that for my zone, all of the areas in Niceville that feed to Niceville High School, our graduation will culminate on the 25th of May. So mark your calendar. I know we all appreciate our collaboration and co-work with Sheriff Aiden, and so I'll brag on him and his staff a little bit that they have created a new reporting online tool for minor crimes, and I was excited to see that because often we don't stop to report, like a key scratch on your car or things like that, but he's made it very easy for us to report crimes that don't involve a known suspect or a firearm. Just go to their website and there's a new link there. Very excited to announce that May, you may know, is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I alluded to, and so did the superintendent, that we met with Casey DeSantis' cabinet, the Florida Children and Youth Cabinet, last Thursday in Tallahassee, and that generated a lot of information requests for the Hope Squad. And I was so excited and like to wish congratulations again to Mr. Chambers and to some members of the district staff and all of our principals who've embraced the program, because Okaloosa County was the second district in the state of Florida, Alachua beat us by just a school year, to implement the program that is now gaining statewide attention, and I think you'll see it implemented throughout the state very shortly, so that was very exciting. And I will end with this announcement that you probably saw, that NHS graduate Wanye Thomas recently signed with the Dallas Cowboys. We're excited about all of our students, and it's just fun to watch their accomplishments after they leave us, because they continue to be great citizens, great academics, great athletes, and great artists. So congratulations to Wanye and his family. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Dr. White?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick announcement regarding Choctawhatchee flag football. And they'll be playing in the regional semifinals tonight at Fort Walton Beach High School. And good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. White. Ms. Vanchek?
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Dr. Cherie Martin and the STEM Center on 10 years. Mr. Bryant and I were over there, and I know some others stopped by there too, and that is a neat place to go, and they had all their things out there. It was really, really interesting, including those free arguments with the young man that had a booth.
That was my favorite part.
He was offering free arguments, and so that was great, but great stuff over there at the STEM Center. I enjoyed going over there. Also want to thank the Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce, because tomorrow they have a First Friday breakfast coffee, and this month they're opening it to all the local nonprofits, which is our foundation. So we're going to be there tomorrow. Appreciate them giving us space. We're going to get to tell people about what we do with the foundation and let them see, and hopefully get some sponsors and some mentors for our Take Stock program. The other thing is that I thought this was, in the words of Mr. Horton, cool, because I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but the Planet Fitness Corporation nationally is offering free workouts for high school students ages 14 to 19 starting May 16th through August 31st. So I called the local Planet Fitness and said, hey, are y'all in on this? And absolutely. So all of our students can go and have a free membership throughout the summer to work out. And part of this, going along with what you work on there, Dr. Kelly, is they said it's not only the physical part, but we all know that working out goes with mental health, and that this is important for that. So I want to encourage those students to get out there. It's free. Now, if they're under 18, the parent does have to sign a waiver that they're coming, but it's pretty basic. And then the last thing I want to say is that our Baker Gators have a new football coach, and his name is Barry Gardner, and he's not new to Baker, but he will be is taking over Coach Matt Brunson's slot. But Mr. Gardner has been there a while and has been a part of the success of Gator football for many years. So we can congratulate him on taking on this new position. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Manchek. Ms. Gardner.
Yes, Dr. Kelly mentioned about the great things from Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, but they are going to be offering a cyber safety class. It's for parents only, and I know we've talked in the past about how students are lured into different things online. But this is going to be Wednesday, May the 11th at 5 p.m. at Bruner. It's called The Good, Bad, and Ugly on Cell Phones, Internet, Gaming, Social Media, Bullying, and More. I think this is the same program they had a few years ago. Excellent program. But I also contacted one of a resource officer to see if this might be if they would be able to do it in other areas at other schools, because it is a very worthwhile program, and looks like it will be. I think Destin's going to be doing one here soon, but I really hope that the Sheriff's Department is able to extend this into many more schools in different areas. Congratulations to Coach Cawthorn and the Destin Middle School boys baseball team. They were the 2021 Okaloosa County Conference champions, and Bruner Middle School came second runner-up. So congratulations to both of those. We talk a lot about CTE, and I don't know if others are going to join tomorrow, but James Martin, the teacher, Coach Martin, they are going to have their grand opening of the new building trade and construction program at Fort Walton about 11 a.m. tomorrow. And I saw it a couple of months ago, and just to see it completed now. But what they were doing then, and where they were having to do makeshift classes, they were using the power saw in between classes that were doing math and English, but everybody was working together to make this program successful. So I'm really looking forward tomorrow to seeing the outcome of it. And he stated that it started at the beginning of the school year, and they're already making an impact in these children's careers. And in the first year, they had 75 students that have received industry certifications in HBI, PACT, Core, and 79 students in the HBI Green Building for a total of 154 industry certifications, and that's just this year, this first year. So he also mentions that they have really big plans. He's going to share those big plans tomorrow during the grand opening, and I just look forward to hearing what they're going to be able to do. So, and last, I will just say Happy Mother's Day Sunday to all of our mothers and grandmothers and bonus mothers and those of us that are filling mother roles. So I hope everyone has a beautiful and relaxing day. And that's all.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gardner. And I'll finish up with a few announcements. Baker has a new football coach, so does Crestview High School. We tomorrow, actually, they're going to be doing an official announcement, but living in Crestview, sometimes, it doesn't always make it to the official announcement date. But we're going to be recognizing Thomas Grant as our new football coach at Crestview High School, and Thomas has been a product of the Okaloosa County School District. When I was at the school the other day, he was telling me that, it's always been a dream of his to be the coach of Crestview High School, and he elaborated when he was in the 5th grade, when he should have been paying attention to math and English, he was writing football plays out, so he knew that he was destined to be a football coach. But kidding aside, though, he is also a great educator at the school too, and is making a big difference on and off the field. So we're really excited to have him as the coach. At Crestview High School, our robotics team led by Mr. Tim Sexton. This is his first year at Crestview High School. As y'all know, he developed a great program at Davidson Middle School, but he moved on to Crestview High School this year, and he took the Crestview High Ballista Bots to Tallahassee, and this was their first competition as a high school together, and they actually got the Rookie All-Stars Award, which I thought was really cool. So, a lot of those kids came from Davidson, so he's had them for quite a few years now, and to be able to take them to the state level that way in their first year and actually get rookie team of the event was pretty awesome. And then, of course, yesterday was National Nurses Appreciation Day. So we appreciate all of our school nurses. Like Mr. Chambers said, we do have one in every classroom, whether they're actually a nurse or a health tech. So we do appreciate them. And then also, tomorrow is National Lunch Workers Day. And I don't know about y'all, but as a young man in school, I always appreciated the people who worked in the lunchroom, especially if you were really nice to them. I know you get a little extra here and there, So I can always appreciate the lunchroom workers. So they do an amazing job, and we really much appreciate them. And that was back in the 1980s also, by the way.
And there's nothing better than to walk into school one morning and you smell those yeast rolls cooking, and you know
Well,
that
that's-
you're going to have
that's true.
those
Be-
yeast rolls for the day.
So
That
do
is
they know
the
you
best
by
smelling
name?
ever.
that one lunchroom lady did, because I was super nice to her. So, and
What
then
was she scooping?
yeast rolls, as a matter of fact. So that's what she usually got, was an extra yeast roll. And then finally, again, shouting out to the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department. A team of our SROs at Crestview High School have done an amazing thing to make prom affordable for some of our students who might not be able to get prom dresses. And if you get a chance to go to the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, our Deputy Kane and Deputy Burry at Crestview High School collected over 150 prom dresses. So if any of those students who need some help to get a prom dressed out, they have over 150 of them. So that's an awesome thing. And it's a great program, that our SROs are more than just out there, protecting our schools, but they're involved in our schools, and they are an important part of that team. And we do appreciate our SRO that's here today, keeping watch over our meeting, and it's just a great thing. So if you get a chance, go to the Okaloosa Sheriff's Department Facebook page and you can read a little bit more about that. So with that, we'll move down to section 16, and this is the 2-minute version of public comment. Members of the public desiring to address the school board, Form MIS 5241, public input and or discussion of agenda items. And before we go, Ms. Lightbourne, anything? Ms. Perry? And Mr. Horton, we heard you. Oh, by the way, Mr. Horton, thank you yesterday for coming to the Crestview Rotary Club and talking about all the great things that are going on in the school district. But I will tell you, the response I got back from a lot of the members was how much they appreciate your knowledge of numbers. And I told them that he's a numbers man, so he looks at numbers like we look at letters. So, but I sent a quick note to Mr. Chambers yesterday thanking him for allowing you to come and speak to that group, which is a group that I'm a part of. So thank you very much, sir. And with that, this meeting's adjourned.